Yes.
What is your favorite line of Sakura?
Oh, my favorite line is Sakura and Tsubasa is Sharon, because that's about all I said. That show was awesome, but it was funny to me because, like, when I auditioned, you know, in the beginning, she's so spunky and feisty and hey, how you doing? I love Sharon. Woo! And so that's what I auditioned with. So I thought that was going to be the whole show. And so I was like, hey, episode 1, spunky, woo, woo, woo. I lost my feathers. What do you want? What do I lost my feathers? She's like, yeah, you're pretty much passed out for the rest of what? She's like, yeah, you're kind of like, okay, here's the deal. They're all memories, so now you're like 1/30th of the person you were before. What? So then it became a challenge because it's like, how do I make this character that was once so peppy, like you're still an audience to like her, but she has to be kind of, you know, quiet, and all of a sudden she's kind of zombie-ish at the very beginning. And then I had 3 seasons to kind of, every time she got a feather, she had to become a little more lively. You know what I mean? Like it became very difficult because it's like, all right, well she lost all of her feathers, so now like let's build it up. So every time she got a feather, I would put just a little more energy back into her, or a little bit more life back into her. She got another feather, a little bit more. The only thing that sucked about that is that when we were working on the first season, I didn't know there was going to be a second season or, you know, the OVAs. So it's like you had to pace yourself carefully. Because it's like, I think there's going to be more of this, but I'm not sure. So I didn't want to put too many feathers in, because by the end of it, she would have been like, what? So that one was challenging. It was a great show, though. I love that show. And I always tell people that they'll ask, like, well, if you could walk into any anime world, which world would you walk in? I'm like, Tsubasa. Because I would be tall and skinny, and all of my clothes would Fruto in the wind, even when there's not a breeze. And I have this slight glow about me. It's really awesome. I like Claudia. Yes, sir. Ooh, have I ever had a character created specifically for me? No. I would love to. Thoughts. I need to contact Japan and be like, I have had characters that I didn't really have to do a whole lot because they were so much like me. There's one David Williams always jokes about. He directed Angelic Layer, and I play a character named Tamayo, who is hyperactive and loud and obnoxious and has to pee all the time. It's me. And he's like, oh, what do you do? You have to act. And it's true, I didn't have to act at all. It was basically just me being silly. So that's always kind of fun. But I haven't had one, not just for me, around contact the Japanese and be like, make it happen. I know Funimation's trying to get into some original stuff. So maybe we can make it sometimes there are roles that I think were created for me, but I know that's not true. Anybody else? Oh my goodness. I used to do like a lot of research on what was coming out and stuff like that, because I wanted to know what shows were coming along the path and what to look out for. And that's actually how I ended up with Funimation, because I found Kitty Grade and loved it. And there was a little show called Naruto. I had this little crazy character named Sakura. And I was like, that would be so much fun. I play crazy all the time. I love it. Let's make it happen. And then I went to California. But that one I thought was fun. So I was like, that's a perfect character for me. She's crazy. I love it. There's been a couple, but for the most part, what I try to do now is I try to kind of stay kind of ignorant to the whole situation, and I just kind of go in and learn about the show when I go in. There's been a couple, like Princess Jellyfish was one when I auditioned for it. I was like, I want that character. I want it bad. And then there was another one that I can't tell you that I got. And I can't wait for you guys to hear it. It's awesome. But usually I kind of wait until I get there and decide which one I want, and then I freak out. May Rin was one of those. I saw, I went beforehand and did some research on the show just to try to figure out what I was auditioning for, and I saw that little maid with the glasses, and I went, yes, that one. That's the one I want. But I try not to do that as much anymore, because then you get heartbroken if you don't get it. It's like, oh, I didn't get the one I wanted. But then you get somebody else, and they're just as cool. So it works out. And I had somebody over here. Yes. Obscure. Oh, obscure characters. Well, playing Critters is pretty obscure. You know, I was Carter the Duck in One Piece, and I was Sizer the Pig in Peacemaker, and I was Pen Pen and Ava. Those are pretty obscure. As far as shows that like obscure in the sense of shows that people don't see a whole lot, Monica 617 is one that I think is one that nobody's ever seen. It's a show about a girl that's 17 and kind of a bee. And she gets knocked upside the head, and all of a sudden she thinks she's 6. So you have this girl that's, you know, like snotty and too good for everybody, and she gets hit upside the head and she starts with everyone. Woo! That one's pretty obscure. Another one is Hakugai, Legend of Moby Dick. That's one I don't think anybody's ever seen, and I play a parrot. That's awesome. Yeah. Is learned something? Good question. I try to put a little bit of myself into all of the characters, but at the same time, some of them are so different from me that I kind of, it's hard to say. Like, sometimes they kind of take over you. When I was working with Lauren Hyatt in Excel Saga, I had to kind of separate myself from her because she's so dinging and so slow that my director would constantly go, okay, more deer in headlights. Just think deer in headlights. Think stupid. Think I have no idea what's happening in this world. And so I would go home with the stupid. Like I would go home and actually still feel that way. And I'm like, oh, I can't be like this. Or playing Izumi Himura in Princess 9, I would go home and be mean to everybody. Just because I was so angry. So you have to kind of separate yourself a little bit so that you're not carrying that character around with you all the time. But I certainly try to put a little bit of my personality in, even with somebody like Joe, it's a little harder because it's so unlike me. But there's a lot that's relearned too, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a method actor, you know, do you guys know what that is? Like, there's method actors, and in order to act anything out, they actually have to do it. Like, if I'm going to pretend to be a blonde lady, I'm going to go dye my hair. Which I don't have to do that. Like, I'm not a method actor. I will in the booth, like if we're doing a fight scene, I will fight a little bit. I mean, you can't move around a lot because you're not going to be on mic. But I will kind of act things out. But so I kind of, there's a little bit that's learned and a little bit that's me. I know that's a very wishy-washy answer, but I don't know how else to describe it. Yeah, I guess it's like my allergy medicine. Should I say that? Yeah, Laura Bailey and Travis Dillingham. She's now Laura Bailey Dillingham. Travis stories. I've got plenty of Travis stories. There's many a tequila drinking contest. There's Travis in Hawaii. Oh, Travis in Hawaii was fun because when we went to HawaiiCon one year, Travis is a big guy. You guys met Travis? He's very tall. We were at the same hotel as some MMA fighters. And they were having some like big throwdown that weekend or whatever. And so you would see them in the entryway like mad dogging each other, like, I'm gonna kick your butt tomorrow, yeah. Well, they started doing it to Travis, because I guess they just assumed that he was an MMA fighter because he's so big. And so you'd see these guys, like these giant dudes would come in and just like stare at Travis. And Travis was just a big group of us. Oh my gosh, what's going on? What are they doing? I think you're one of them. So that became funny because the whole time we'd walk through that lobby all weekend, we'd just be like, watching Travis, like, oh no. He was a lot of fun. Travis is a lot of fun. And he and Laura are absolutely precious. Congratulations. I didn't get to go to the week because I was sick. This being sick thing sucks, man. I hate it.